ECW and stuff, which I'm maybe a little bit wary about now. In a nutshell, what did you think?
This is a great opening match. Like, despite the things we complain about, like you say, I think, having watched the rest of the card as well, I think this one match does give you a nice, pretty good barometer of what everything else is going to be like for the rest of the night as well.
Honestly, if I was going to say, and you've never watched ECW before, and you want to watch one match, and people are going to say, "Oh no, watch Sabu and did it." Well, you know what, honestly, just to get a thumb reading of what's typical, this is pretty much the typical. This is why people love ECW.
And it's good stuff. It's very good stuff.
Very, very
in
amazing
terms of
stuff.
just in-ring quality, this match was sublime.
Definitely. Really, really amazing. Coming up next, it's another one. Fucking hell. Two more fucking absolute studs and beasts.
Yeah.
You following that up with Lance Storm versus Chris Candido. Fucking amazing. Lance Storm, massive fan of Lance Storm. I love Lance Storm almost as much as Lance Storm hates everything. And that's a lot, folks. Chris Candido, I don't know if you were familiar with...
Don't know Chris Candido. Know very little Lance Storm. I know a little bit of his...
WWE.
Was he in the anti-American... What was it called?
The Un-Americans.
The Un-Americans, sorry. I know a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And I've heard him on a few podcasts and think he's a very, very funny man.
And he's got a mind for the business, has Lance Storm.
I knew... He was one of those guys that, even when I saw a bit of him in WWE, I knew that he had this sort of legacy of, in the other companies, he was much, much better.
Yeah.
Jim
Ross, what I was way saying, this man is underutilized.
Yeah.
Hey, monkeys in the back, make Lance Storm a bigger star, you idiots. You know, he was always adamant about it. Like.
So I was excited to finally see Lance Storm in his prime, kind of, you know?
Chris Candido, again, it's a fucking shocking story. Obviously, Candido died very, very tragically. He died because of, like, you know, he had a blood clot in his leg and there was pneumonia, and it was just kind of, it was one of those things where he just died in hospital.
Hell.
You know, he had other problems, he had other issues, blah, blah, blah.
But it was sudden.
But it was sudden and shocking, and you know, he died very, very shocking. You know, he was someone who was considered that he was going to be a big star. You know, went to WCW, made a bit of money, was probably held down and held back greatly because of his relationship with his wife, Sunny.
Who we see here.
A lot of difficulties as a result of their marriage. A lot of bridges burned, reburned, pissed on, and then burned again. You know, Candido very, very much like has that unenviable position of like kind of seemingly never getting to the level where he should have gotten.
Yeah,
and that's a shame because Chris Candido is fucking awesome.
What's the furthest he got? Did he make his WWA?
He was WWF before this. He was in the Body Donnas.
Right, don't know that.
They were tag team during New Generation. Would have won tag straps, stuff like that.
And was he still around for Invasion and all that?
No, he would have been kind of drifted off the face of the earth into indies and stuff like that. Showed up in TNA in the early days, and then he passed away 2004, 2005. Right. But he did get to go to WCW as part of that New Blood faction and get a nice big money check. He was one of the lads now who would have gotten the big signings when WCW was just throwing money away. So he did get something out of it. You know, he got a moment in the sun. Sonny handles Chris's introduction. Candido looks vascular.
Very vascular, yeah.
Fucking hell, this
bloody man.
And it's really, really upsetting seeing Chris Candido here with his fucking, you know, probably being told by every company he went to except ECW that you're too short.